The first thing Elias noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy, watching silence that pressed against his ears as if the city itself were holding its breath. He stood at the edge of the bridge, the river below him black and slow, reflecting broken pieces of light from street lamps. 10 years ago, he had sworn never to come back here. 10 years ago, he had left with a suitcase, a wounded heart, and the belief that time would erase everything. Time had erased nothing. It had only sharpened the edges. The letter was still in his pocket, folded so many times the paper felt soft as cloth. There had been no return address, only his name written in a familiar, careful hand. If you ever want to know the truth, come back, it said. Nothing more. No explanation. No apology. Just a sentence that reopened doors he had locked with pain and pride. Elias had tried to ignore it. He had tried to burn it. But some truths refused to stay silent. As he walked through the old streets, memories rose like ghosts. The bakery where his mother used to buy bread on Sundays. The cinema where he had kissed Mara for the first time, hands trembling, future wide open before them. Mara. The name alone tightened his chest. She had been the center of everything once. His love, his plans, his faith in tomorrow. And then, in a single night, she had destroyed it all. Or so he had believed. The house stood at the end of the street, smaller than he remembered, its paint peeling, its windows dark. He hesitated before knocking. What if this was a mistake? What if the truth was worse than the lie he had lived with for a decade? The door opened slowly, and for a moment he thought he was seeing things. Mara stood there, older, thinner, her eyes deeper, as if they carried entire stories inside them. But it was her. Undeniably her. You came, she said quietly. I almost didn't, Elias replied. She stepped aside, letting him in. The air smelled of dust and old wood. Nothing had changed, and everything had. They sat across from each other in silence, the years stretching between them like a wound. Elias wanted to shout, to accuse, to demand answers. Instead, he asked the simplest question. Why now? Mara looked down at her hands. Because I don't have much time left, she said. The words hit him harder than he expected. What do you mean? I'm sick, she said. There are things you should know before it's too late. Elias laughed bitterly. You had 10 years to tell me anything. I know, she whispered. And every day, I paid for that silence. She told him about the night everything fell apart. The night he had found her with another man, the evidence impossible to deny, the betrayal absolute. Elias remembered the taste of blood in his mouth, the way the world had gone cold. He remembered leaving without looking back. What he did not remember was anyone asking him to stay. That man, Mara said, was my brother. Elias froze. You told me you were an only child. I lied, she said. Because I was ashamed. Her brother had been involved in dangerous things, debts, people who did not forgive easily. That night, he had come to her, beaten and desperate. She had tried to help him, to protect him. When Elias arrived and saw them together, she panicked. She thought if he knew the truth, he would be dragged into it too. So she let him believe the worst. I thought you hated me, she said, tears finally falling. I thought it would be easier if you walked away. Elias stood up, anger and grief crashing into each other inside him. You let me destroy my life over a lie, he said. Yes, she answered. And I destroyed mine with it too. He left the house without another word. Outside, the city felt different now, louder, harsher. 10 years of pain had been built on a misunderstanding, a moment of fear. But knowing the truth did not erase the years he had lost. It did not give him back the nights he had spent wondering what was wrong with him, why he hadn't been enough. Days passed. Elias stayed in a small hotel, unable to leave, unable to stay. He thought about forgiveness, about whether it was something you gave to others or something you gave to yourself. On the third night, the phone rang. Mara's neighbor spoke softly. She's asking for you. At the hospital, machines hummed, steady and indifferent. Mara looked fragile, but when she saw Elias, her eyes brightened. I didn't think you'd come, she said. I didn't know if I should, he answered honestly. She smiled faintly. That's fair. They talked until dawn. About the life he had lived, the cities he had seen, the love he had never fully allowed himself to feel again. About her regrets, her fears, her quiet hope that he might one day understand. There were no dramatic apologies left, only truth, raw and late. When the sun rose, Mara squeezed his hand. "I never stopped loving you," she said. Elias closed his eyes. For the first time in years, he let himself feel everything: the loss, the anger, the love that had survived despite it all. "Neither did I," he whispered. She died that morning. At the funeral, the city seemed strangely peaceful. Elias stood alone, the letter now gone, its purpose fulfilled. The truth had not changed the past, but it had changed him. As he walked back across the bridge where the river still moved slowly beneath the lights, he understood something he had never allowed himself to see before. Some stories do not end with justice or happiness. Some end with understanding. And sometimes, that is enough to finally let the silence go. As the last people left the cemetery, Elias remained standing, unable to move. The earth above Mara's grave was still dark and fresh, as if it had not yet decided to accept her. He realized something then that frightened him more than grief. For the first time in 10 years, the anger was gone. And without it, he felt exposed, almost empty. Anger had been his shield. Pain had been his identity. That evening, he returned to the bridge. The river flowed the same way it always had, indifferent to human regret. Elias leaned against the cold railing and thought about all the moments that never happened, the conversations they never had, the forgiveness that came too late, the life that existed only in imagination. He understood now that closure does not always come from fixing the past. Sometimes it comes from finally seeing it clearly. Mara's truth did not give him back the years he lost, but it gave meaning to them. The loneliness, the distance, the walls he had built around his heart, they were not signs of weakness. They were scars from loving deeply and losing without understanding why. And scars, he realized, are proof that something real once existed. Before leaving the city, Elias stopped by the old house one last time. Inside, it was empty, but on the table lay a small notebook. Mara's handwriting filled its pages, thoughts, memories, fragments of love she never sent. On the last page, she had written a single line: "If he ever forgives me, I will finally be free." Elias closed the notebook and exhaled slowly. "You are," he said softly, though no one was there to hear it. When he boarded the train the next morning, the city faded into the distance. Elias did not know where he was going next. But for the first time in a decade, he was not running away. He was moving forward, carrying the truth, the pain, and the quiet understanding that some loves do not survive time, but they shape us forever. And as the train disappeared into the horizon, Elias finally allowed himself a thought he had denied for years. Some stories are not meant to be saved. They are meant to be understood.